Authors, book lovers, and storytellers, welcome to another Reader's Magnet featured author interview. We are currently live on all of our streaming platforms, YouTube and Facebook. My name is Kimi, and I am your host for today. And together with me right now is one of the Reader's Magnet featured authors, here to talk more about her journey as an author and the inspiration behind her book. We have Dee Bostic, author of the book Love, Lies, and Lab Coats. How are you today, Dee?
Oh, I'm well. And yourself?
I'm actually doing very good. Very good. I'm excited to also know about you and your book. And I think the best way to start off this interview is to introduce yourself to our audience.
My name is Dee Bostic, and I live in Lexington, North Carolina. And I enjoy writing. And uh, so I started writing again, for lack of a better way to say. I've always enjoyed writing, but, unfortunately, work gets in the way of that sometime, and you don't always do what you want to do. But now I have the time to try to realize some of my dreams. So I'm getting started again.
Wow, that's amazing. I can actually feel you when you mentioned about, work comes and then you don't really get to do your passion like writing and all. But at least you're here, right?
Yeah.
You're showing now, you're showing to the world your talent and the story that you're giving out as well. Can you show your book to us so we can
Oh, sure.
see?
Yes.
Okay. There, that's Dee's masterpiece, everyone. Love, Lies, and Lab Coats. Amazing. So, Dee, let's kind of start with the first question. When
Okay.
did you first realize that you really wanted to be a writer?
Well, that was a long time ago, actually. I was in high school, and my English teacher, Miss Mulligan, I'll never forget her. And she, we used to have to hand in compositions and essays and so forth. And she seemed to always enjoy them. And she just, out of the blue, one day said, you should try to pursue a career as a writer. That wasn't something that made a whole lot of sense to me at that point in time because of
Mhm.
my background. I needed to get a job that would pay some money. And so that dream went on the back burner, but I kept writing little things here and there, you know. And so, yeah, it's been a very long time that I've known I wanted to be a writer.
Wow. So, imagine as early as high school,
Yeah.
you already have that, that the talent. Because I really feel it because I'm also an educator. So aside from working, I also teach, and I really feel, when I get to see students that just really have the talent, and considering that you were inspired by your English teacher, and from there it kind of like go back to where you are now and realizing your dreams of really writing back. And it's amazing that you did not stop. It's your passion and all, it will just gonna blossom at some point. And what was one of the most surprising thing that you learned in creating your book?
Um, well, it was really like opening up an escape hatch, say,
Mhm.
where you could just be in another time and place.
Wow. Yeah.
It, it it's hard to explain, but I mean, you can really lose yourself in reading a book as well as writing a book. So I think that was one of the things that surprised me the most, is just how much I could get into that moment with those characters, and just not really even be a part of this world anymore.
I feel you with that. I love reading, and you get the feeling of like when you read this book, and then you feel like you are transferred to a different realm, a different era, and then you feel like you're part of it. I can really feel that. And
Yeah.
when you're feeling that and you're trying to write your book, it's also giving us, your readers, on that place. So it brings us to a different world where everything's okay and everything's a different kind of adventure. So I think that's really the magic, right? The magic of
Hmm.
books and the magic of writing, where you're actually doing right now. What do you think makes a good story, D?
Um, well, I like stories that entertain, of course. I mean, something to make me laugh, or even to make me emotional, make me cry, or make me. I just want to feel something from something that I'm writing. Or even something that I'm reading. Um,
Mm-hmm.
I just think a good story has to move you, regardless of which way that is. It just has to do something, and hopefully, it's something you can also learn something from. So,
Right, that's true. Something that you can, remember,
hmm
and something you can keep with you, that no matter how what your age would be, or wherever you are, you will always keep remembering that book. Anything you mentioned about, something like that, can you probably share to us any of your, or any of the books that you've read, and the one book that really kind of, stand out from the rest, or probably an author maybe?
ooh, I'd have to say Toni Morrison, and uh, I don't really know. I'd
I've
have to
heard.
say Toni Morrison more
Tony.
so than most. Yeah.
Wow. I'm gonna check as well on that one, because considering that you're writing right now, you're passionate with what you're doing. I'd say the authors that you also somewhat look up to also give a big impact on your writing skill, right? On how you do your thing.
Well, I won't go that far because she was, like phenomenal, a phenomenal writer, um, and I just really enjoy reading her stories, reading about her and her process. I guess I could say I try to use her as a role model, a
Yeah.
mentor for writing, something like that. But I'm certainly not in that category quite yet.
At least you see her as a mentor, someone that you can get inspiration when it comes to writing. And I
Right.
actually was able to read the part of your Amazon page, and I get a very wonderful reviews from those people who've read your book. I'm just going to share this to the people who are watching right now during our live stream. It's a very good one. So we have Off to a Good Start, um hospital setup of love and life, well researched and well written book, and kept me interested throughout. Enjoyed the line and story of how the character was developed, or the development of the characters. So pretty much the book is very intriguing, or kind of interesting, considering that even the title, Love, Lies, and Lab Coats, I kind of give this more of like um a hospital background, where you get to learn stories about the people in there. So I think everyone is watching right now, guys. It's a different kind of setup at some point, because people probably think of, okay, love story, it could be in a romantic place, or probably somewhere in a castle or something like that. But for these, it's kind of different one, and it's reality, right? In every
Exactly.
part of, yeah, in every part of life, and everywhere you go, love, life, and stories would really come along. So I think that's very interesting. Are there any? And the next question, are there any therapeutic benefits to modeling a character after someone or probably an author?
Uh, yeah, I'd say absolutely. Especially like, and not so much another author, but I do think of certain people when I'm writing, to get some emotion going sometimes. So I think, like
Right.
for instance, if you think of a negative person, um, as a writer, you can kill that person.
Yeah.
You can torture that person. You can do anything you want to that person and not have to
Yeah.
spend any time in jail. And so,
Right.
so it's kind of cathartic in a way, depending on what you're writing at the time, or what your thoughts are, whatever's going on. You can actually release a lot of that energy through certain characters.
Right, that's true. That's true. And when you probably think of one character to be connected to the other character in a love story kind of setup, so you can, create something really wonderful. Because probably in reality, you might not be able to do that, and then you want to like,
Exactly.
yeah, it's a different kind of world. And this is my own. I'm the writer, so I
Right.
think that's really where you can bring out all the best that you think of a very romantic date or anything like that. And I really feel you with that in terms of creating something out of the characters that you're doing. And what really inspired you, Dee? What's the idea or the inspiration behind the idea of this book that you've written?
Well, workplace drama. I don't care
Yeah.
where you work, there's always some kind of drama. Okay.
Yeah.
And especially for some reason in the medical profession, because our jobs are very different from most people. I mean, we're trying to save other people's lives, bring hope, inspire. And some people do that better than others. Some people have great bedside manners, others don't. And then the people that just come to work, you bring your baggage to work sometimes. It's just a lot of stuff, and we all go through something, and we all have different experiences. And I just wanted to kind of bring some of those characters together. Some of it I was kind of inspired by Tyler Perry. He had come out with a couple of movies that there was a story there, but then he was trying to teach people something like about health and different things. And I kind of like that because I really do enjoy self help books, but they're a little bit harder to write. So I said I can do a novel and put some social commentary type of things in there that people go through. I was going through like metabolic syndrome myself at the time. So it was important to me to talk about food and diabetes and just things. But these are real things that people, especially in our world, unfortunately in America, our diets are terrible. That's another story for another day. But so it's a lot of different things like that I wanted to kind of grab little pieces and see if I could put something together.
But you know what? What I really like is that considering that you were a medical technology before, right?
Mm-hmm.
So you were into medicine and into that kind of life as you work, and you're putting that in your information, the details, the ideas and all in your work. So I think that the credibility of having someone with that life experience putting in a different perspective on a work, a life or work kind of what do you call this, drama at some
Mm-hmm.
point would
Uh-huh.
also makes people realize that this writer is not just talking about nonsense. Like this writer is not just simply creating something out of nothing, because
Right.
it's a well written book. It's a well researched book. And you experience that, and I think that what the one that you mentioned about you're also into what do you call this, diet, or you're also
Yeah.
into more of like that, it gives us the feeling that you can probably as what I call this, you're still no, you're still young, so you can still definitely add more books, hopefully, on the next days or months to come, in
Absolutely.
line with what you're doing, right? And
Mm-hmm.
this is more of like a, for me, it's more of like the startup of your career, because you've been very busy, working, and now it's really showing your passion, and it's also you get the feeling. I really feel when you mentions about the therapeutic feeling of creating characters and all, and I'm very amazed that you're doing what you love. You're doing what you love ever since, like, when you were young. What do you want readers to take away from your book? What are the lessons that you would like to share with them, the
um Forgiveness, um tolerance, more tolerance for other people, uh because it's hard to explain, but I think with all the social media and all the things that we have bombarding us from day to day, we've lost touch with other
true?
human beings, and so I try to talk about things that are real to me, that or and I'm sure are real for other people. Things talk They say to write about things that you know about, so I try that. um Sometimes that's not the best thing because you can get a little preachy, and I've been told that as well. But hey, you're not going to please all the people all the time, you know. But I always want to wrap whatever I'm writing around some type of a love story. I love love stories. I want to try to put more love into our world, you know. More acceptance, get people to really realize we're more alike than we are different, so let's just jump on that love train and just keep that going.
I love that when you said about putting love in the world, right? And forgiveness is a big word. It's a big word, but definitely it is possible. It is possible. Losing touch with people because of social media, it is definitely true. And with your book, it's relatable, and it gives a different flavor of what we're experiencing right now. Pretty much, you mentioned about love, getting on the love train and all, and I think it's more of like putting in different ingredients on the typical way of people thinking right now, and
Right.
I love it. I love it. And so JP put here a note, or he put in a chat. I'm just gonna read that, talking
Mhm.
about things that you're familiar of and you've experienced make your writing more authentic. Thank you and congrats for your book, D.
Oh, thank you.
Definitely. Yeah, definitely. Because you're authentic, you experience and all. It actually puts on your character. Like, okay, it's gonna be easier for you to put in all those details and all because you've experienced that, and people
Right.
can definitely relate that this writer is writing something out of her experience, or probably giving on a different kind of perspective, but she knows what the perspective is because
Mhm.
she's been there, and
Right.
that's credibility of a writer that we look up to someone like you. And I know, Dee, you've mentioned that you've had this like ever since high school. You get to have the passion, the writing, and all. What would be the best advice that you can give to our young writers right now, or any writers who wanted to start but cannot start at all? What do you want to tell them?
Whew, I'm the wrong person for that, but I will say, just do it. Like I know I stole that from Nike, right? But just keep writing. Don't try hard not to procrastinate. Try to really believe in yourself, um, and know that you'll never know if you can accomplish it if you don't even try. So you have to try. You have to grow a thick skin because there are those that are not going to like what you do, but do what you want to do for yourself, and then the rest will come.
I love that. You never know if you didn't, if you won't try. So you never know. And procrastinate. You never procrastinate because you just realize, oh my god, I'm already what, 70, 80, thinking of, okay, I'm gonna start writing, and then eventually realizing that you cannot anymore. I love when you mentioned about just do it. Right? Do it.
Yeah, it really boils down to just that, and I've read many self-help books, and that's the theme in most of them. You have to just kind of get out of the chair and do what you got to do. So that's where I am now. I'm trying to do that, and for younger writers, just keep writing and learn, and never stop learning, and keep reading as well, because you can
right.
always
And
learn from another writer, and.
true, true. And I love when you said about never stop reading, because as a writer you also have to put in references on what you're writing, and you're not just simply sharing, or you mentioned earlier about preaching and all. I think as a writer you have to really understand the two parts of the coins, which is you're actually doing, considering that you've also shared the experience that you had. So D, are we also expecting more, hopefully, in the next years? Are you thinking of
Oh,
adding more books to
absolutely.
write?
Absolutely. Yes. I've
Amazing.
I've got another one coming out after Well, this Love Lies in Lab Coats is 2 volumes. So
Oh,
yeah, the second one is not too far along behind rather. And then another book that I've been working on, I'm editing now, so that shouldn't be too far behind. Um, Now that I have more time, as a retiree,
yeah.
it's I'm going to put that time to good use. Between writing and
Definitely.
gardening, and little travel here and there. But that's
Wow.
that's what I'm going to
I love your life, like travel here and there. Right now,
do.
I'm still hugging on my 30s. I'm still, hard hugging and all that. So hopefully,
Yeah.
when I be on your age, I get to also do my passion because I'm also into music, like, singing and all that. So hopefully,
Oh,
and you're
nice.
doing, yeah, and I also love writing as well. So, same what JP wrote here. JP's wrote in the chat. He said, true, hopefully, I'll become a published author as well soon. Yeah, hopefully. So, to inspire people. And what you're doing right now also inspires me. And I hope also it inspires all the people who's watching right now with us, because it's a ripple effect, right? Like
Yes.
you were inspired by other authors, you're doing it right now, and hopefully people reading your books will also be inspired and try to write something out of their experience when they get to read your book. And I would be one of them, definitely, because I love young adult books, I love stories. And when I get to, I love more of like a hospital kind of setup, so I love
Okay.
it. So it's more of like my other alter ego. I wanted to be a doctor at some point, but did
Oh,
not
really?
happen.
Yeah.
It did not happen. So with your book, D, it gives me a different world. So I'll definitely, hopefully, on the weekends, I can get to read that. And I guess I was able to ask you all the questions that I need. Is there
Okay.
any last words or probably parting lines that you would like to share to our audience right now to be inspired by your book?
To be inspired by my book.
Can
Um,
you show your book with us?
oh, show
Okay.
show it to you again. Okay.
There. Okay.
Okay.
All
This
right.
camera is in a strange place. The camera and the light. But anyway,
Nice.
so
Okay.
yeah, that's it. But um, I just want to say thanks for this opportunity to say a few words. Not real experienced talking like this, so this is all new. But you made me feel very comfortable. I appreciate that, and I just hope that between Reader's Magnet and all that you're helping me to do, that I can sell some books, can continue to write, and inspire other people to do the same.
Definitely. And you're starting right now, and it's a journey that I know you're enjoying, and people will also be enjoying and learning something from the book that you're writing, considering the authenticity as well as the what do you call this, that the special kind of feeling that you wanted to share to the people who will be reading your book is something we are looking forward to on this book that you have. And thank you so much, Dee, for your time. We really appreciate that. And everyone, that's Dee Bostic, author of the book Love, Lies, and Lab Coats. You may grab a copy of her book. It's in Amazon and Barnes& and Noble. Again, thank you so much for your time, Dee, and everyone who's watching right now. And as we say here at Reader's Magnet, we share your story with the world. Thank you, Dee.